So today I'm going to talk about the most recent Dragon Ball series, and I haven't seen very many people talking about it. I kind of thought that it was going to be a big point of discussion after the last episode dropped on Saturday, but now it's been almost a week and I haven't seen much discussion, so I don't think I'm not sure how many people are watching it. So I decided to make this a quick, spoiler-free pitch for it in case it's gone under the radar for some reason, because I think it's really good and I think people would like it. I did anyway. I had a great time from episode 1. I was warned that it's a little bit slower paced, more slice of life, so maybe expectations helped, but I loved this series. These 20 episodes. It's quick. It's fast. The plot doesn't super matter, so I'm just gonna give you a snapshot of what kicks things into motion. Basically, we have some baddies. They come to Earth, turn everyone that fought Boo into children, steal a baby, and fly off into the distance. So all of our favorite characters are kids now, which is apparently a plotline that has been used before in Dragon Ball, just not up to where I've read so far. So it was novel to me and I loved it. And before they got turned into kids, we still got a great fight, you know, just because we want it. Really no good reason other than the fans will like this. And I did. So we're leaving Earth, we're going to collect Dragon Balls in the demon world. Our team is split up. We have new companions that we get to meet, and I love them all. That the dynamics between our old characters and our new characters are really fun to watch. They have great chemistry, hilarious personalities. I think that a lot of their character traits are very endearing. Our established characters are still very much themselves, but playing off of new characters, or we're just seeing how their dynamics among each other have continued really well. I became really attached to these characters over time, and there were certain scenes of high intensity or peril that I was actually on the edge of my seat. I was like, surely not. Surely this isn't going to end badly. I'm too invested. But of all the amazing characters, and there are many, the best is easily Warp-sama, which is this giant goldfish that helps us travel between worlds. A very grumpy goldfish that helps us travel between worlds. So we're leaving the Earth, we're exploring the demon world, and it has its own history, ecology, and social problems that we interact with. A lot of the story is about the journey. It's exploring a new realm and collecting Dragon Balls. We're going back to the roots of the story in a different location. But it also has so much of the humor in OG Dragon Ball. We might get a giant flying broomstick, and as soon as we get into the air, it crashes. So we get a ship, and it crashes right away. Maybe we'll get into a fight and it looks like the previously apathetic character might actually step into the ring and help us. No, he's just gonna open a bag of chips. The show moves really slowly. I already called it a slice of life, and I really think that that's something that anyone that has not seen it yet and is considering watching it should go in knowing, because it is far more focused on the adventure and the characters than it is on big bombastic moments, though they're there. But it just feels good. It feels like old school Dragon Ball that moves a little bit slower, that has lower stakes, that just is enjoyable to explore in. Plenty of fights, plenty of action, but also sometimes just sitting around the fire, talking and having a conversation. The lighting in the series is stunning. The colors are vivid and the world feels alive. And the motion with the characters is so fluid. And if you do love Dragon Ball for its fights, like I do, there's still plenty of that too, even though it's not the main focus on the forefront. There's hand-to-hand combat that's really detailed and fluid. Awesome powers on display, either fighting between friends because they both want to do it and they both think they're more powerful, so now they need to have a fight in order to decide who gets to fight the actual opponent, and the opponent just sits on in the background waiting to see who's going to fight him, and increasingly gets discouraged and afraid as he watches it happen. Smaller scale battles because you bumped into someone at a bar, or because there's been a disagreement and you need to work it out, and we get to see our characters fighting different types of people in these ways, or much larger scale battles like fighting the protectors of the Dragon Balls. But in each of these battles, the light and the motion and the angles are constantly being played with. There's so much variety in the action that we get. It is a story that's far more focused on story than it is on the action, but the action that we do get, I loved so much. Not just because it's cool fights, but because of the artistry behind it. This is the last project that Toriyama worked on. He was really involved in this project, and while I as much as I have loved watching this, I do prefer reading the manga for Dragon Ball because Toriyama writes fights like I've never seen anywhere else. Easily my favorite action mangaka that I've ever read. So while I loved these fights, I also was constantly in my mind thinking, how would that be drawn? How would that look? But even though I love Toriyama's art so much and craved it in this story, it's just really cool to know that he was heavily involved in creating this piece, and I think it was, I've loved it. I have heard that it breaks canon. I don't know how, and I can't comment on it because I haven't actually gotten that far in my reading. I haven't read Super yet, so I don't know how it breaks canon. Maybe if you've watched it, you can let me know in the comments if I would need to know, or I guess you could just share it with other people who might want to know in the comments. I wouldn't think that would matter if it's a small break, if it's not something huge, because Dragon Ball breaks its own canon constantly. Dragon Ball is constantly setting rules and parameters and then saying, yeah, but there's a way around it. So we just did. We just got around it. Anyway, I don't think there was a lot of marketing behind this for some reason, even though it's been in production for a long time. So maybe that's why there's less being said around it, or maybe it's just because it's pretty slow. It's a very just sit back and hang out in this world with characters that we love and with new characters that we grow to love and enjoy this nostalgic, even though it's different, but you know, it feels old school, this nostalgic story that's more about adventure than anything else. But if it is a marketing issue and it's just a matter of, oh yeah, I forgot that thing was happening. Well, it's over now. And I would like for you to watch it because I want to talk about it. I don't know, I thought it was charming. Please do chat with me more in the comments if you have watched it and you want to talk about it, or if you haven't watched it and you think you could now. I would love to talk to you more about it. I only showed clips. I think I grabbed clips from the first like 9 episodes. So there's a lot more to be seen from not just what I showed you here. Anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video saying that I really enjoyed it. Please do chat with me more in the comments. I'll see you again soon. Bye.